I am prepared to give you my email address, and if anybody wants to contact me directly outside of this, I will give you, and if you've got questions, I'll honestly answer them. So my name's Nathan. We wanted to look at some insulation for the property. The reason for these particular houses where we live are 1930s, so they're solid brick, no cavity, and then the problem that we was finding after we kind of moved in, that the two rooms at the back of the house where we was having issues, in the winter, there was a lot of condensation, kind of mould issues started kind of climbing up, and that was my son's room and the bathroom. So then we started kind of looking on YouTube, as you do, and I started looking at the internal insulation. When I looked at that, I looked at the costs, what it involved, and I think one of the main factors that we kind of knocked that on the head was they're fairly small rooms at that side of the house, how much it reduced it by. So at that point is when we started looking at the insulation externally, and I think we got about 4 different companies to come in. We wanted to get 4 different quotes. 2 of them just didn't bother, so we thought fair enough. The third one, they came round, and we've had a fair bit of work done on the house, so I've met all different types. Just didn't get a warm feeling, didn't feel they were the right person. And lo and behold, it was ShapeUp, and Bogdan came round, had a really good chat with him, and most importantly, he told me the whole process from start to finish, which I felt comfortable about because I'd done my own research. He was saying all the things that I wanted to hear, so that was a big plus for me. And same as that, you've turned up today. You come up in a smart van, you've got the right attire on, it just looked a professional outfit. So that is why I ended up with you guys at that point in time. I think that was my wife. I think at that point in time, there was a green home initiative there, and I think there was numerous companies that we went down, and then I think we just applied for that. That was, yeah, simple as that at that point in time. Later to that, we have had Bogdan and you guys come back to do more private work on the back of the house for the same thing, but that wasn't, I think they've stopped the government scheme, so that was just like a normal straight payment to you guys for the back of the house. Okay, so I kind of started on that. And initially, as I say, as these houses are solid brick, in the winter, freezing cold, absolutely freezing. Well, you may see on the end of shots or whatever, but we're end of terraced. So them 2 rooms were like an icebox in the winter, absolutely horrible. One of them was a bathroom as well. And then with the bathroom, we had the windows open a bit more, which we could kind of cope with the fan. But my boys' room, we noticed like there was always condensation. We had to buy one of them Karcher things to do the windows. And then when we pulled the bed out, I started seeing little spores kind of come up. And that's when, from a health perspective, we started panicking a little bit by that. And that's when we had the issues. We had like dehumidifiers in there. We had the heating on, which didn't want to spend too much money. We had the heating on all there in the time. That was quite expensive. And then at that point we said, no, we need to kind of find a solution. We can't keep taking out 10 litres of water a day, and it wasn't safe for my son. So that's why we had to kind of go with you guys and find a solution. We've had a lot of work done on the house. Different people have turned up, and you kind of get a gut feeling of who you want to go with. And as you yourself turned up today, you can't see in the camera, but all smart with your livery. If you're proud of your company, you've got it on there. You're advertising yourself, which means you've got to be proud in your work. Also the vans that came up, and that sounds silly, but all kind of newish vans and look smart, clean, all the livery on it. For me, it just looked like a professional outfit compared to some of the other people that turned up. I just felt like they've seen a job, oh, we'll give that a go. And it just didn't feel right for me. So again, at that point in time, I still didn't know you guys, but I had a feeling that my chances were that you were going to do a better job than the others. Again, a lot of the cost at that point in time was kind of covered by the grant scheme. So there wasn't a lot of like differentiators between you and the others, but it was just that, again, big shout out to Bogdan. He came in, he explained the process from start to finish, which the others didn't. So again, I got that feeling that was his job. He knew what he was doing. It wasn't like, oh, we'd do a wall today or we would do something else tomorrow. So I had that feeling that Bogdan knew what he was doing. I done my own bit of research, not to try and catch him out, but just to see you know, what it was about, and he answered the questions perfectly. And I'll tell you what, one of the big things I did like about that first initial meeting was, obviously everyone wants everything done straight away. Bogdan never gave me the BS and told me I can do it next week. He actually told me he had like a line of kind of people that he had to kind of commit to first. I didn't want to jump the queue or anything like that, but he said it's going to be about from when we signed the contract, when the work was done. I think it must have been about 4 months, you know. Oh. It was about 4 months because he had so much work to do. But he could have just, you know, told me a lie. I could have signed it, and he could have kept telling me, "Oh no, next week, next week." There was none of that. It was straight up with me. So again, that was one of the big criteria for me as well: the honesty and trust. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. The comm side, like I say, of that initial period, I think it was about 4 months. Bogdan kept me informed, saying like I'm like number 17, now number 14 or whatever. So he kept keeping me up to date. Even guys when they were here, because I think the process took about 2 or 3 days to actually do. He told me what time you would come in the morning. There's none of that chasing you guys in the morning. What was going to be done that day, what the completion was going to be done that day. And again, do you know, it sounds stupid, but one of the big things, you guys are so clean. Literally before, you must have spent about a couple of hours prepping the place. You had these big kind of black mats and stuff like that. And again, when you just came up here, you've seen like the parking situation. He kind of made sure that I made the neighbours aware and stuff like that, and where they could park and stuff like that. Perfect, honestly, brilliant. First class, first class. Again, I keep going on about the trust point. I've had lots of work done before. People said they're going to be here, they're not going to be here and stuff like that. And for me, if I'm taking time off, annual leave, to be at home, sometimes I couldn't work from home back then. If I was going to take time off, I wanted you guys to turn up. Yeah, and you turned up, so crazy. Brilliant. Well, I think we've touched on the cost savings in the winter. Again, I keep telling you, it's like solid brick wall. One of the things we have noticed with that now is when you turn on I'm sure people out there will know this, when you turn on the heating, it seems like it has to heat up the bricks before then it heats up the house. That used to take a long time in these type houses. Quick, brilliant. Which means I could turn the thermostat down, which means I'll save a bit of money. There's no kind of condensation in the rooms and stuff like that. And I'll tell you one of the plus things I say, if you do see pictures at the end, our house is like end of terrace. And the brickwork was starting to degrade a little bit. So at some point we've had to have it, I don't know what the technical term is, when you have all the mortar redone, yeah, because it was not good. Perfect with this one. I've got two for one here. It's insulated. It looks fantastic. And I've kind of removed all that issue of having all the house repointed. Hence why, like I say, we've also had you guys back later to do the back of the house as well. Amazing. And the only thing I would say is later, I think at the front of the house, it's all like pebble dashed and brickwork. So we would have had the front done, but down this road, there's kind of restrictions. But I do believe, Bogdan said now there's some new technology where you can make it look like brickwork. Correct. Yeah. So I think that'll have to be my next investment, and the house is wrapped in its own blanket. Yeah, for my son being in that room, again, not just from the warmth side of things, having mould and spores in there, breathing it in, I'm sure that's not healthy. So yeah, the heating bills have come down. But again, another value add that we found, which we weren't kind of aware of, was this house is true south-facing. And as I said to you, in the winter, it was freezing. In the summer, it was like a sauna in there. And now we found out with the insulation on the side and the front and the back now, or not the front, on the back and side, the house is cooler. So again, for us, another value, another plus for us. So when the aircon's on, it feels actually doing something rather than trying to fight against the warmth of the house. I exceeded easy, yeah, definitely, 100%. My wife's happy, so I'm happy, yeah. You guys have been fantastic, and I know whether we said we were touching it or not, but you guys actually came back and built our extension, yeah, which is not really part of, I guess, what today's about. However, that took a process of about 8 weeks. And I can honestly say at the end of it, they were like family to us. So yeah, absolutely brilliant. So yeah, in terms of the comms, first class, attention to detail, cleanliness, all of them things is what we were looking for. And yeah, abundance, brilliant, fantastic. Do you know what? A lot of people down this road have asked about what we were having done and why we were having it done. So we told them, they've seen you guys turn up. And you know what? I think for the neighbours coming by, how clean you guys are out the front, I think that was a big plus as well. So I would, if you've got this type of house, a solid brick, I'm not sure how it affects other type of houses, but for our actual situation, this is what we needed, and it's actually met all of our results. Like I say, it's not just the insulation side of it, but the actual look of it. When you see if there's any shots to be seen, it actually looks clean and modern now, not just the brickwork. So yeah, brilliant. Do you know what, right? It was weird. You guys are like robots. 7 o'clock in the morning, you're sitting outside in your vans, very polite, not making any noise, just drinking your coffee, and you're waiting for me to come down to let you guys in. So maybe not start so early, or I would say will be a good one. Not that you're starting work, it's just that it just felt, well, did you sleep here or what? But yeah. Definitely, I think I've already done that many times. I don't know how many people have kind of reached out to your company on the back of it. But keep saying, from the health perspective, the heat, the coldness and stuff like that, the look of it, absolutely perfect. So if anyone, you know, what I would say is obviously that these kind of calls and kind of one-to-ones, maybe sometimes people may feel a bit contrived. I am prepared to give you my email address, and if anybody wants to contact me directly outside of this, I will give you, and if you've got questions, I'll honestly answer them. It's fantastic.
That's incredible.
And I really appreciate what you guys done as well.
Appreciate it.
No, I did say to Bogdan is, if you guys ever go public on buying shares, I did say that to him.